Curses of the working class. Born to live a life of servitude where opportunities were never served to you. Taught from early on that to get along, you get your head down, work hard, paid, and your bed down. Look, whatever you do, don't make a fuss. That belongs to them, that's not for the likes of us. It's ingrained in our culture and its weakness. We're told that we're just workers and we're foolish, we believe it. We're raised to work in factories, we're fodder for their packing needs, we're educated just enough to know what paid packet means. Just be happy that you're earning money. That's the thing we say. They've got us so convinced our purpose is to earn a wage that we don't question anything. It doesn't cross our minds that they've decided on the way that we should live our lives. See, I'm not factory fodder. In fact, I'm actually honoured, BA to be precise, but not Baracus, a scholar. Not prepared for what followed, they put me back in my place, given hope for just a second, still the soot's on my face. Degrees are just another thing we buy. You would be so happy if you had this in your life. Buy a TV, focus on the screen, forget that you were never what you thought that you could be. Forget that you were raised to go to work. Forget that you were fought for everything that you were worth. Forget that what you want to be is more than just a job. Forget the quest for knowledge isn't one that you should stop. Forget that life is more than just a wage. Forget how good it feels to be engaged. Forget that you will never get your way. We're taught a way to think about ourselves. The poor attack the poor of labels created to dispel any sense of unity. We're not just one community. I hate you for the things that I've been told that you will do to me. They choose the words we use. They choose the way we think. They choose to make us think that we will chose the way we live. So Nigel Farage is back. This flaccid penis of a man shouting, "I can get hard if I need to." In his right hand, he holds the pint with which he toasts the working classes. In his left, behind his back, he hides his upper middle classness, that which he conveniently discarded when he walked into this pub. Privately educated and funded by the rich, he's essentially a puppet being beaten with a stick until he tells the working classes that foreigners hurt their kids. Not punch, but Judy, nationalism slides smoothly from his lips. Waves of fear-based rhetoric slap against his ship full of false promises that he sails around Britain. His smug and smarmy grin sitting just above his chin is more than enough reason to distrust him. But if you need any more, may I invite you to explore his open and abhorrent racism. They say that they're wishing us well, but how could we ever believe when remembering Grenfell? They say the proof is in the pudding, and they were putting substandard materials in. So these thoughts seem like more than theories, I think. It feels like an obvious truth that these people weren't humans to you. And I know you think the longer you wait, the more this goes away. And I think that one day that will be true. But I also think it's our job to keep reminding you of the 72. The 72 lives lost to save money. Homes set ablaze with nothing in place to stop flames. They ripped through family, tore through friends, forced mums to throw their babies out of windows at flame point, and they keep coming round to the same point: their homes weren't safe. Because it was cheaper for them not to be. They'd rather burn people than money, and I ain't being funny, that sounds like manslaughter to me. You didn't want them to die, but you didn't care if they did. Parents and kids, brothers and sisters, nannies and granddads, all the similar problem. They were common. Working class lives mean nothing to rich folks. Like, everybody's fallible, but these homes were flammable when these people knew about it. It wasn't an accident. It was a choice made as part of procedure. And it wasn't that long ago either. 2016. In 2016, there was a so-called renovation, and in 2017, 72 people died in front of a nation. Basted in the classism that considers them less, they roasted in their own homes. Jacob Rees-Mogg blames them for their own deaths. It's the common sense he bemoans. Not the fact that their homes weren't safe, or that they died because they were poor, or that they died for no reason, or that their deaths were entirely avoidable, or that this kind of thing never happens to his lot. These are poor people problems, and poor lives don't matter. That's a matter of fact and as clear as a bell when remembering Grenfell. I'm a third of the way through and full, but that won't stop me ploughing on. My eyes lie on fries they know they do not need, but hands built like shovels make sure to pack them in tight. Not one or two, possibly three, but probably four burgers sit unwrapped or unboxed and spread across my bed. Lying patiently, time ticks as they wait for teeth to tear through them. 9 nuggets nestled neatly next to barbecue sauce are not needed for sustenance. Instead, they unwillingly play a sick game of self-harm that's been disguised as a treat. No knives are needed here. Fast food is only fast in delivery. My 3 a.m. McFeasts are slowly killing me, or rather, I'm using them to kill myself. I'm tripping over thoughts my mind just might be full. Overdose and overthinking, man, I can't see through. I can't see who I am, I might be stuck here. Crushed by avalanches of ideas, and I fear that I won't breathe again. I'm feeling manic. A breath of fresh air, some relief from the panic. Too many thoughts, I'm too deep and I'm drowning. Please, can someone tell me now which way is up? 'Cause I'm halfway to fucked and I can feel it. My mind has come unstuck and I just find that it's revealing the darkest of my thoughts and I can't take it anymore. Something turned the key and now they're flooding through the door. My legs are getting sore from carrying the weight of the world. The full picture of this beast that lives inside is unfurled. This many-legged creature running rampant through my mind space, taking what it likes and doing damage to my mind state, flicking through my thoughts to throw mistakes back in my face. I'm climbing up the walls, I can't escape the thoughts, they're my fate. I'm irate. I can't stop these thoughts from churning. It's hurting. These coping mechanisms aren't working. My thoughts just run in loops and I can feel it, man. I'm circling my sanity because actually I'm panicking and scared. Explore the darkness. It's full of harshness, but you'll come out the other side a lighter person. And you might be hurting, but hurt heals and what we feel is what makes us conscious. It's nonsense to think you can ignore the bad times any more than you can hold on to the good. And should you try to do so, your darkness will grow until the flames lit underneath you and your whole life boils over. We all soldier on sometimes, but a landmine's been laid and unless you disarm it, it will blow. Explode into 1,000 bits and take relationships with it. So don't bury it, live it. Explore your fears, cry your tears, and forgive yourself. Then take those feelings, put them on a shelf, and take them down when you need them. Safe in the knowledge that you beat them. Brought up to bow down, cax down and turn round, the working class march to polls to vote against themselves. More deflated than the original Brexit balloons, I scraped myself out of bed, got washed and dressed and carried on. It occurred to me this morning that this was always our fight. We could never rely on the system to help us. Angrier than ever, we must endeavour to create. People never levitate, we're going to have to lift each other. We must live creative lives beyond their rulings. Take our knives and carve our own place in this world. Wedge open our minds and never let them close. We are the ones on the right side of history, the right side of life. Left in the gutter, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, turn our backs on the bullshit and create our own future.